If you've been on Roblox for a while, you probably recognize this skybox. This is the original null_plain_sky. It's pretty much synonymous with old Roblox, up there with Crossroads and Survive the Disasters. This was used as the default skybox for Roblox from the start development in 2003 all the way to 2009. Despite how long it's been around and how common it is, not many people know the origin of it. The rendering engine Roblox used at the start of development was G3D, or the G3D Innovation Engine released in 2000. Since Roblox was built on G3D, Roblox inherited the skyboxes that came with it. Plain Sky was one of those. In version 3.02 of G3D, the skybox is credited to John Dabbs. All old versions of G3D have since been wiped from SourceForge, but I've been able to download a few versions before they got deleted. Viewing the original skybox face files in the 3.02 data zip, the skybox was edited in Photoshop 3. What's interesting is that the creator of G3D, Morgan McGuire, was one of the first developers for Roblox in 2005. As well as David Baszucki and Eric Castle working on G3D at one point. The G3D library was used in a book by NVIDIA called GPU Gems, released in 2004. Here inside of it is a copyrights.txt, and here John is also credited. The name of null_plain_sky most likely comes from their website, Nullpoint, which is no longer active. Going through archives of John's website, I found what would most likely be the original download of it, named Plain Sky, but the zip was never archived. Like many other free assets from around that time, their work was reused in a lot of Quake and Half-Life 2 maps. This version of null_plain_sky was made in Bryce 4 back in 2001. It doesn't appear that John is active on the internet anymore, as I was not able to find any active profiles of theirs today. Null_plain_sky was the default on Roblox all the way to mid-2009. Despite being the default for a long period, Roblox still uploaded other skyboxes for users to use. On April 11th and 12th, 2007, the Roblox account uploaded 7 skyboxes: Broken Sky, Alien Red, Walls of Autumn, Oblivion, JonTron, Starry Night, and the Utter East. Luckily, only 2 of them have an unclear origin. The description of 5 of them directly credit Mark Alsip, which I will get into in a moment. JonTron's description is this Computer World skybox, but the textures used in it were uploaded by John Shedletsky, which would explain the name. This skybox is unique compared to all the rest of the official skyboxes, as it doesn't even try to hide the seams of the box, using the same texture for every face. The Utter East, its description is just an excerpt from The Voyage of the Dawn Treader by C.S. Lewis. This is one of the most mysterious skyboxes, as although it's pretty clearly made in Bryce, the author was never credited. The other 5 were credited to Mark Alsip, so let's look into his site. Again, his site no longer exists. Going through archives of his site, I was able to find that he did make a lot of skyboxes back on his old site, alsip.net, in 2005, which he still uses to this day. Unfortunately, the vast majority of them have been lost to time. On Vaxor, he said that he used Bryce 5.5 to make his skyboxes. Unlike John, Mark is still active on the internet on alsip.net and his Twitter. A person over at awababa.win has been trying to archive all of the skyboxes, so go show them some support. It's pretty sad to see a lot of these artists from around this time and never had gotten their work properly saved anywhere. Over the next couple of months, Shedletsky would upload a few more skyboxes. Later, in May, Shedletsky uploaded another skybox, which is really called Lake 1, or Jazz Lake. This one is one of my favorites, and it was originally made by
José Arcebiano.
As far as I know, Haj never explained how he made the skyboxes. And again, in September, Shedletsky uploaded a skybox of Just Stars. This one without a solid name I can find. As you can tell, a lot of these skyboxes have the same look to them. This is because the majority of them were made in the same software, Bryce and Terrigen. Initially released in 1994, Bryce is a 3D rendering software designed for landscapes. Bryce comes in with a very powerful editor for creating realistic skies. Naturally, this made it a popular choice for creating sky textures. Similarly, Terrigen, another software made around the same time frame, was a popular choice. A lot of skyboxes were from these 2 programs. Besides that, some were made in software like Mojo World, Vue, or Skypaint. You might recognize Mojo World because of its usage in the backgrounds of Bejeweled 2. Another method of creating skyboxes that was common was by taking meshes and scaling them up to be the point it appeared as a skybox. This was especially used with the eggs from egg hunts, as their textures were good for abstract environments. Bryce had a set of preset skies for each version of Bryce, and one of them was Camp Sky. Alsip's Starry Night is an exact copy of Camp Sky. The reason we have the majority of these skyboxes nowadays is because of Rombomb, a Roblox forum moderator. On May 21st, 2007, he uploaded 26 skyboxes, 25 of them being from Mark Alsip. The method these skyboxes were uploaded didn't use decals as it would be today. Instead, each face of the sky was directly encoded as base64 inside the model. Back then, Roblox places and models were stored as XML files instead of the custom format they are stored in today. Before 2008, users could not upload decals without a workaround of uploading a t-shirt. Even after 2008, decals had to be scaled down to 256 by 256 pixels unless uploaded by an admin. That and the old toolbox had a tab only containing the official skyboxes, making them much more popular. On January 9th, 2008, Roblox uploaded 3 more skyboxes: the Great West, Winterness, and Shiverfrost. In the description there is no useful information. Based on the look of the skyboxes, my guess is they were probably made in Bryce. I was able to find that Winterness is just another skybox by Alsip named Cold. At some point between August 4th and September 2nd, 2009, Roblox changed the default skybox in the engine from the classic null_plain_sky to another null_plain_sky. As far as I know, this was kept as the default all the way to September 2013. However, the files for it were kept in the game for many years unused. I cannot find the exact date it was removed. Another skybox you may recognize is the skybox uploaded by Jarblox, a Roblox admin, uploaded August 3rd, 2011. This was pretty commonly used around 2012, but it was first used in the starter place for accounts created after August 15, 2011 to mid-April 2012. My guess is that Jarblox actually did create this skybox, as he was the lead art director for Roblox around that time. However, I have no way of knowing that for sure. I sent an email to him about it, but he never replied. In September 2013, Roblox changed the default skybox to the Jarblox version, but this only seemed to stay for a few months. I find it very strange, and there are barely any mentions of this online. In November, they finally changed it to the default we still see today. No matter what I did to try to find the origin, I couldn't find anything, so my guess it was probably made in-house by some unnamed developer. Another skybox from this era is Desert Evening, uploaded September 17th, 2010. This skybox is also surprisingly featured in G3D. This skybox was made by a person named Hazel Worley, and included it in a skybox pack they released in 2006. Mostly all Roblox templates and starter places use the default around the era they were made, besides a different one here and there. A good amount didn't use known admin skyboxes though. I'll try and run through a bunch of these, such as version 12 to an unknown version of the Infinite Runner preset, known as Cartoon. This one is quite cozy, it's a shame to not see it used more often. Another template with a custom skybox was the first 13 versions of the Pirate Island template, known as Bright Blue Sky. This one was used in version 20 and up, the Castle preset. It's quite peaceful. This one is the sky for the Modern City preset. This is the sky for Move It Simulator. This one just sucks, I'm sorry. This is the sky for Mansion of Wonder. This is the sky for Platformer template. This is the sky for Galactic Speedway, known as Evening Pass. This is the sky used in Studio Tour. This is the sky used for Classic Obby version 40 and up. And finally, this is the sky used for Create and Destroy. 2021, Roblox changed the baseplate preset, also changing the skybox with it. This is saved as the default skybox when you create a game since then, along with being the default for a few other templates after the announcement of the new baseplate. Take everything I say here with a grain of salt, as I can't read C++ or know anything about 3D rendering. These are just what I assume was happening from what I can interpret from the code. Roblox originally was built on top of G3D, then switched to Ogre, then eventually switched to an in-house engine. Of course, the skybox had to be rendered a different way. During the G3D era of development, the way the skybox works is that it is drawn behind everything and the camera is moved so it's inside of it, so it is impossible to reach the edge theoretically. Same thing goes for how Roblox does things today, at least I think by how the 2016 source code leak works. This one works slightly differently, as drawn around the camera instead, and this actually has a set size of 2700 suds. You just can't see it since it would always move towards you. Here's what it would look like if it didn't move towards the camera. This is really janky, but I think you get the idea. The outlier between these engines is Ogre. Although there is no source code leak of how Roblox drew the skybox during that time, it was recorded to be possible to actually get close to leaving the skybox and reaching around on the other side. I'll link some videos showcasing this in the description. I was not able to recreate this myself with old clients or Studio. The last thing I want to do is go over some common skyboxes we haven't seen yet. So I took the archive place archive and made a list of the most common skyboxes from the whole set. I'll try and do a short review on each of these. First up is Entropic, uploaded May 2011. This one is just a noise texture with pink and white. This skybox is called SalSky008, originally made by someone going the name Saladin. Earliest I could find this on the internet was 2006. Next is Grim Night, uploaded March 2011. This was originally made by Hipshot on his site ZFight in 2005. The same skybox pack by Hazel also includes another skybox named Night Sky, which is also another very common skybox. On the same site that hosted SalSky is a skybox called LNH Sky 4, another common one in the archive. This one is made by Lady Nighthawk or Deb Murtag with TerraGen back in 2004. A good amount of these skyboxes originally made for a website called Active Worlds. Active Worlds is a whole rabbit hole on its own, so if you're ever bored I would encourage you to research it. This next one is Frozen Wastelands, made by Simon O'Callaghan or Sock in mid-2001. The sides of this 4 skybox are just pulled from the National Park Service. This photo was taken in 2001, right in this exact spot. I give $20 whoever recreates this photo. The bottom texture was harder to find, but the oldest source I could find of it was from 2008. The top was pretty easy to find, originally being hosted on Big Photo in 2006. Next is New York Night. Despite finding like 5 different mirrors, I couldn't find an answer who exactly made it. I guess it was made by the mapper CLK Skins, since he made very similar skyboxes around that time, but I don't know for sure. If you have any more information about this skybox, please tell me, because I couldn't find anything useful. This next skybox, named Storm, is another one of my favorites because how bad it is. I love how you can see the cursor they tried to hide. I'm almost certain this is someone taking a screenshot from inside the invisible egg of shadow, since the texture matches perfectly. That's all the custom ones I felt like doing, so I'll end it here. One last thing I want to cover. You've probably seen this video of the Roblox skybox glitching out when Spore was opened at the same time, causing this really unique effect. To be honest, I don't know much about this, but I would suggest watching this video by Stormed in the description. It's a really good deep dive into why that happened. In total, there are 30 skyboxes I would consider official in some way, either being used in the actual Roblox client, uploaded by admins, or used in templates and starter places. There's a lot more I wanted to cover, such as the rest of the common skyboxes and the history of other sky elements such as the sun and stars, but I feel like that's good to save for another time. Thanks for watching.